Hello everyone and welcome back for another episode of Diablo 3. In the last episode we completed the Avaritia conquest and we also geared up our Enchantress so she isn't going to die. We've still got three things left to do on our Conqueror level. The first is finish at level 70 Rift at Torment 13 in 5 minutes. That's going to take us a while to do. The second is kill the Butcher in 30 seconds. We might be able to manage that. And the third is use Kanai's Cubes to augment with a level 50 gem. We could do that with Boon of the Hoarder right now. In fact, we're not really in the need for money, and we could always get another Boon of the Hoarder if we needed to, so that's not a terrible plan. Let's have a look and see what the requirements are for Caldessan's Despair. The other thing is I've switched over Inner's Reach, as I said I was going to experiment with. I re-rolled the dexterity up and it ended up being about a 0.6% increase just in general. And the previous one had Mystic Ally damage of 96, this one's got 106, so it's an additional 10%, so 10.5% extra damage for everything that we care about. It's pretty solid. Right, Caldessan's Despair, let's have a look. 3 flawless royal emeralds. Okay, so we are going to have to do some gem upgrading. Now this isn't actually a problem because if we combine all of our gems, we can probably do a batch conversion. Yeah, if we get 9 of these, then we can convert those. And we'll do the same with the diamonds and the amethysts as well. Now, if we really wanted to, we could do this for our Enchantress as well with topazes, but that would be much further down the list of priorities compared with everything else. All that gold that we had a moment ago, all being spent. Uh, 14, no, we're only going to do 9 of them. Okay, so let's go to Act 2 and we'll swap these over. I mean, this is getting them prepared so that we have them ready to go. We're not going to do them all right this second, of course. So I need 1, 2, 3 of these. And then convert gems. 9 and 1. 9 and 1. 9 and 1. And then we go to Shen and get Shen to upgrade them all. It's expensive in terms of material, but this means we can do 1 now and we'll have enough for 2 later. And by then we'll have more gems and etc, etc. It'll all be good. So the question is, what are we going to put? Whereabouts is it? It's on the last page, isn't it? Okay, so we need an ancient item, we need a legendary gem, and then we need a level 50 gem. What item is least likely to be replaced anytime soon? Probably the helmet. Because the helmet is pretty damn awesome. Other than the exploding palm damage. Although I did just upgrade the belt as well. We found another belt at the end of the last run, and it was slightly better across the board, so we switched over to that. Maybe the Ancient Convention of Elements. It's a tough call. Right, we're going to do the helmet and the gem, and we need 3 of these. Right, so it's important to actually... Let's separate... Can I could have sworn you could separate them out with holding shift. Oh well, not to worry. It's important to note what we're doing with our damage. So 1, 4, 1, 3. 1451. Pretty good, actually. That's like a 3%, 4% increase in damage. It's not absolutely massive, but if we do that to all of our equipment, it will be quite significant. And so, yeah, using a level 50 item, that gives us 250 extra dexterity, which is quite significant. We're already pretty close to the maximum on that item anyway, so I don't think we're going to be replacing it anytime soon. If we do find another one, then brilliant, of course. But it's going to be quite a way away. Let's put these gems back in. So we've pretty much just exhausted our gem stocks to do that. We need more goblins. But before we do any goblin farming, we've got a Greater of Keystone to use up. Let's run a GR60. Should be quite quick. In fact, no. Let's push the envelope. We've done a 67, so we should be fine doing another one, I reckon. Let's just make sure I've got everything in the correct places. So life per hit maximum, area damage maximum. After that, resource cost. Yeah. And we may as well empower it because we've got the money to spare. Ah, terrible start. But we're also, as I've said before, we're pushing for the most experience that we can get from mobs. So there is a lot of that that's going to be going into the work that we're doing over the next couple of episodes. And that extra like 10% damage from the allies, that extra 4% damage from us, that will make a big difference on our ability to kill stuff and progress. He says struggling, killing just the first little crappy thing. Jeez, that had quite a lot of health. We are still able to kill mobs pretty damn well, though. And the more we push like this, the faster we'll level up and the stronger we'll get in a shorter period of time. So while the rifts themselves will take longer, our character progression as a whole will end up being faster. Right, we're already getting a little bit ahead on the time, that's good. That's where we want to be. Channeling pylon is that? Looks like it is, but I couldn't get to it. Come on, just let me touch the pylon. There we go. Because that pylon lets us activate our allies all the time and our invincibility all the time. So worth it. Alright, let's push on quickly. We've still got quite a lot to do in this rift. And I always worry about these big guys. Because at this stage, they can almost certainly one-shot me. Actually, with most of those, we didn't actually need to activate the allies to get a big damage boost on them. We were just strong enough to hammer through them. That is awesome. I do see something big up in the top corner. charging dudes. That is going to be painful. Let's try and keep in the middle of them. Wall of Desecrated, Fire Chains, Frozen. Fire Chains is going to be painful. In fact, it's all going to be painful. Especially if they keep doing stuff like charging me. Should have it in hand though. Nice. Okay, very, very cool. Let's move out of this area. This area sucks. Shield Pylon, lovely stuff. That is going to keep us alive while we keep right in the thick of everything. Look at all those mobs going. Orbiter, knockback, illusionist, poison enchanted. They are not dying quite as quickly as I would like. But I think some of that's down to the illusion itself. And also the knockback on our guys is pretty intense. There we go. Finally thinning them out. And it's going to be a tight for time run, I reckon. I reckon we are going to feel the pressure a little bit. But that's okay. There's nothing wrong with a little bit of pressure. Keeps you sharp, keeps you moving forwards. Right, let's push on so that we can get another nice cluster. That went well. That was a lot of damage that happened there. Dude was still falling from the sky over the side. Yeah, we definitely get a good amount of progress from trash mobs, so it's worth us paying attention to that as we go through and kill things. Bang. Yeah, all this is building up time for us to kill the Rift Guardian when it appears. So, you guys gone. Let's move on to the next nice little cluster. You can see time eking along there, but our progress is staying ahead of it quite nicely. This is a bit unexpected. Maggots in a sewer. I mean, I know that sounds really crazy, but shielding and fire chains is going to be annoying. Can we please focus on these guys? Get them injured, killed, gone. Nice. Ah, more blues. Reflects damage, molten, poison, enchanted, illusionist. Illusionist is probably going to be the biggest problem in here. But it can also be a benefit when we are fighting and trying to build up the way the 100 Fists stacks. Just depends on how quickly we can get through them all. I think they're going to die pretty quickly. Right, let's wait for the convention of elements and activate the allies. Oh, yeah, definitely killed a lot of them there. I was quite lucky I dodged that one. I had not activated Serenity. We were going to be in a whole world of trouble. Let's get the speed pylon. Now, of course, if we were much more powerful, we could totally wear Nemesis braces. But we need that damage mitigation. Nemesis braces would speed things up, of course, by giving us extra beastly elite mobs to fight. There we go. Who's next? Nice group. Activate the allies. Look at all that damage. So much damage. Yeah, when the combinations really work, they do an absolute ton. And after this, we're going to have to run a regular Torment 13. It's going to feel relatively easy. I mean, it will be slower, because the nature of the rifts are, they are slower. But this has not been terrible at all. Let's get these guys killed, and we'll push on 95%. Juggernaut, Jailer, Teleporter, Plagued. That's not bad. He moves around all over the place. He kind of holds us in place. But he's not going to be moving us around. Only himself. And he's not going to be exploding on death or anything crazy like that. Okay, activate the allies again. All that super damage, just like bang, 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 right in his face. Okay. Rift Guardian. It's the Infernal Maiden. So this could end up being very painful. I want to keep all my buffs up. Occasionally popping Serenity. That wasn't actually as painful as I thought it was going to be. Right, one more pop of the Guardians. Oh, sorry, the Allies. Cool, 1 minute 55 seconds left. And that is actually a personal best at 67. Let's get all of these things up. Hey, look, we got a spare boon of the Hoarder. Funny that. Alright, well, I could carry on trying to pump our own gems, but that's not the purpose of what we're trying to do at the moment. We're trying to build up more levels in our younger gems so that we can do Caldessan's Despair more, so that we can then push higher faster. So this is all going into Bane of the Powerful at the moment. Back to town. We'll hand this in. We'll get our Garrigan levels in. Should easily make it to 50. Yeah, 550. 551. And that got us 4 levels in total. So very worthwhile. New transmog is Neanderthal. Well, it's not amazing. Salvage, 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 salvage. Everything gets salvaged. Before we do that, let's ask Kadala for boots, because we're always hoping she's going to give us some ancient boots. It doesn't look like she likes us today. Still, we'll ask for more. Kadala, give me more boots. Oh, no, sorry. I tell a lie. She loves giving us ancient inners sandals. Because she's done that a couple of times before. Inner sandals are useless to us because obviously we're using the crudest boots. Boon of the Hoarder goes down here, right? The way I like to organise them is anything which has a limited maximum level goes down the bottom, and whatever it is that I'm trying to level up goes up the top. And that just changes the ordering in the screen when you get to actually clarify the gems. So let's just make sure these are right. Yeah, cool. So the 3 that actually have a maximum level down the bottom and Bane of the Powerful up the top. That's all good. All right. I think we can run in and do another regular rift just to finish this episode off. Yeah, that wasn't too bad. Still had a minute and a half left at the end of that run. 67, very doable. We're not going to push much higher than 67 at the moment. At least until we drastically improve our speed. If we get a super decent speed, then obviously we can review that position. There we go. Popped him open. And scooped out the gooey middle.
It cannot be done.
Yeah, so pretty much this is what the rest of our season is going to be. It's going to be doing a lot of rifts, both regular and greater, while we work on leveling up our other gems. So we can plug them into our armor, so we can get stronger faster, so we can push higher. There's not going to be a huge amount more gear progression for us. We'll be saving up death breaths so that we can try and get ourselves an ancient weapon. But even if we do get an ancient weapon, it's going to be potluck as to whether it's a good one. There's a lot of potentially not so much bad stats that we could get on them, but less desirable stats. I already feel like this rift is taking too long. It's because of the big difference between progression in the greater rifts and regular rifts. As soon as you switch back, you just feel like, it's not going super fast. Bang. Even though there's all like the super murder going on. Now, of course, we could be running these rifts with the Boon of the Hoarder in and getting a ton of extra cash. Might not be a terrible idea if we upgraded again. But that'll be a decision for another time, I think. It's like, is the speed increase comparable, worth it for getting enough money for an extra upgrade, or do we just go back to the vault? Or yeah, there's many choices to weigh up in that, or many possibilities to weigh up, I should say. Cool, a nice big pack of liquors. Soul lashers. Giant tongues are us. Nah. All gone, and even more, except these ones are actually interesting because they are blues. Let's pop Serenity, make sure we don't get frozen. This is actually not a terrible place to engage them, all things considered. It is going to be quite painful, but there's exit options, which is great. The street itself was quite wide. Right, one of them's gone. There we go. Amulet, Mace, Death's Breaths, and Golden Orbs of Progression. Lovely stuff. Okay, let's take on some ghosts instead. I do like that there's a little bit of variety in the rifts. You know, a bit of consistency within the levels itself, and then as you move between the different areas, you'll find and encounter different mobs. This is an opportunity, you know, to stop it from getting stale as you're doing the grind, and it can be a bit of a grind at times. If it wasn't for the necessity of leveling up, I'd be doing more bounties at the moment, but bounties just aren't nearly as good for getting those levels. One thing that I'd like to see, which probably isn't going to happen this late in the Diablo development, is some kind of tiered bounty progression system. Because the rifts, they're really easy to, you know, just keep ranking up and ranking up and ranking up, but doing the same with bounties would add a lot of variety. Certainly to the gameplay experience. And I don't think there's enough emphasis put on bounties. Certainly in the later game, you kind of every now and then have to do them to get some crafting materials. But it's really not that many. I've only done enough for the season journey, and that's been it for me. Although, you know, I could be the odd one out. It could be, for me, they're enjoyable, but for the most majority of people, they're not that interesting. Right, I can definitely hear goblins. Let's get these guys. One of them is nearly gone. And the other one isn't going to be far behind. There we go. Wand, Death's Breath, Mace, Dagger. That's actually quite a lot of stuff. Running around failing to pick up the gems as well. Okay, let's move on to the next area. Yay, the prison. Prison's always good. Good number of mobs to contend with. Good number of elite packs. It shouldn't take us very long in here at all. Okay, reflects damage, electrified vortex, juggernaut. It kind of makes sense that one of these are like charging ram devil beasties. It's like a demon bull would have juggernaut. There we go. More goblins. Oh. Okay. Let's try and clear a safety area. I might take a little nose forwards just to see whereabouts they are. Ah, it's gem goblins. Okay. Now we can charge in and face them in the corner. One is gone, and the other... You can't have much left in you, mate. There we go. Cool. Well, we desperately needed gems after having done all that conversion, so very, very glad we've got that little bit of a reprieve. I mean, we still need many, many more, but we will find other gem hoarders.
I will not do that.
Bang, activate the allies, and they just completely mince through everything. I'm barely even touching my mantra at this level. So it's really not something that I worry about, the extra resistances. So I was also thinking of switching over my mantra to a different one. Give us a little bit extra damage output instead. That would be a possibility to try and speed up our progress through these T13 rifts. But because we've got such a long way to go before we're potentially going to do that 5-minute challenge, it's not worth us doing at this stage, I'd say. Certainly it'll end up being part of the speed build rather than our regular build. Alright, Rift Guardian, we'll get to you in just a moment. I'm just gonna... I'm busy. I'm taking out this guy. Can't you see I'm busy? Be a bit patient. Okay, he's gone. Now we'll focus on you. Yeah, just couldn't wait, could you? All the impatience. Infernal Maiden? No, we'll call you the Impatient Maiden. It's much more suitable. Cool. That stocks us up quite a bit with Greater Rift keystones. Got 3 of them out of that. Okay, well, we'll hand this back in, and I think that is going to be it for this episode. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. I do hope you have enjoyed it. It is going to be quite a bit of a grind as we carry on, but we are making constant progress, which is always good. And an Ancient Blackthorn's belt. Jesus. Oh! An Ancient Crudest Boots. Oh, now that's good. Okay, so we re-rolled the toughness on that. No, sorry, we re-rolled the movement speed on that into resistances. Yeah, this can go to like 130 resist all. Alright, if we have it as armor first of all, it's 0.6% increase in toughness. Look at that. That is so lovely. A direct upgrade. Okay, we need to change the way it looks though. So this was Iron Toe that we made it look like. And it needs the Abyssal die to fit the part. Oh, that is such a turn up for the books. Such a turnip for the books. Right, so those boots can get salvaged. Nutcracker can get salvaged. Young Jang Do can get salvaged. I don't know whether Pinto's Pride can get salvaged. Do we have a spare Pinto? Probably not. Let's hold on to it. Don't know if I need that for one of the other builds. And I think everything else can go. But what a brilliant, brilliant thing to end this episode on. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. I do hope you have enjoyed it. If you are enjoying this, be sure to give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, you should do so, and you'll be told when episodes go live in the future. Obviously, for the upcoming episodes, it's going to be a bit of a grind, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't still tune in. Nevertheless, I am having a hell of a lot of fun with this, and I will see you next time for another episode of Diablo 3. See you soon.